Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Get More Facebook Love. My name is Eliana Raggio and I'll be your moderator today. And today's webinar is being presented by Dealeron. And for anyone who isn't familiar with Dealeron, well, we're an award-winning website development company and digital agency, and we're best known for our search engine optimization, our best-in-class customer service, and our award-winning websites. Dealeron was named the top-rated website provider by Driving Sales in 2012 and 2013, and Dealeron customers were winners of the Spring and Fall 2012 Digital Dealer Website Excellence Awards, including the highly coveted overall winner. And just this weekend at NADA, Dealeron also received the Best in Show Award for Website Design from Dealer Marketing Magazine. Dealeron is so committed to lead conversion optimization and customer service that we're the only company in the industry to offer a money-back lead guarantee program. So does your website company guarantee you leads? Well, then maybe you should check us out at dealeron.com. And we have a great show in store for you today. We're very pleased to have Alexi Veneri as our presenter today. Alexi is co-founder and chief operating officer at Digital Airstrike, one of the fastest growing automotive social media and reputation management companies specializing in full-service programs that give dealers an unfair online advantage. Alexi was most recently president of Auto Media Blue Flame 6, one of the largest automotive advertising agencies owned by the Van Tile Group. Prior positions also include vice president of marketing, PR and investor relations at DealerTrack, chief marketing officer at Who's Calling, and director of marketing for the Major League Baseball team, the Seattle Mariners. Alexi is an accomplished public speaker and author of the best-selling book, Balls, 6 Rules for Winning the Business Game. Alexi can be reached at alexi@digitalairstrike.com or by phone at 206-669-6989. Now, during the presentation, if you have any questions, please use the question feature located on the corner of your screen to submit them. At the end of the presentation, we'll answer those questions of general interest. If we're unable to get to your question live, well, we'll respond by email later today. Also, don't forget, a link to download a copy of today's recording is also going to be emailed to you later today for your reference, so please feel free to share it with friends and colleagues. And guess what? Our good friends at Digital Airstrike are giving away 2 fantastic prizes today on the webinar. That's 2 chances to win. One lucky attendee will be winning an iPad mini worth $360, and another lucky attendee will get a 1-month Facebook ad campaign worth $400. All you have to do is stay tuned for details after Alexi's presentation. Also, at the conclusion of the webinar, you're going to receive a short survey, so please fill it out because we're always looking for great feedback from our audience. And today we're going to randomly select a couple of people from all those completed surveys to also win some Google prizes. So let's get started. Let's learn how to get more Facebook love. Alexi Veneri, how are you today?
I am great. Happy Valentine's to everyone. I hope everyone's feeling some love, and we're going to give you even more today with ways to get not just likers but love on Facebook.
I think that's a great idea. And you know, when we talked about doing this webinar together, because I think there's a lot of people out there who need help with their Facebook pages, you know, we were talking about what would be a good day to do it. And you and I instantly said, forget the like. It's all about the love. It's Valentine's Day. So we are going to do this up and do it right. And I'm so happy you're here to share your automotive awesomeness with all of these good people here on the webinar today. So what are we going to learn about today that's going to get us more Facebook love?
Absolutely. Well, we're going to talk about some best practices that every dealer should know, and really how to maximize Facebook to drive traffic and how your inventory should actually be available on Facebook Marketplace. Not a lot of dealers know that there is a difference between just an inventory feed and actually Facebook Marketplace. And then we're going to share a lot of information around deals and offers, check-ins, and really, again, how to drive that engagement and ultimately more sales. And what's going on with Facebook ads? You know, how do they work? How do you leverage them? And maybe it's something some of the dealers on the webinar today want to try. So we're going to go through all of that, but we definitely do want to make this interactive. And at the end, we're more than willing to answer as many questions as we can on the webinar, but also even after the fact, we're more than happy to follow up as well.
I think that sounds great. Where do we start?
Well, why should Facebook matter to you? We're going to start right there. I've been in automotive for about 15 years, and I'm a big believer in not doing something unless you know what you're going to get out of the other end of it. So why should our dealers care about Facebook? Well, there's more people on more devices more often than anywhere else, which is pretty amazing. So look at these numbers. It's pretty incredible. Over 1 billion active users. Look at how much mobile is now being embraced by Facebook users. It's incredible. It's honestly, for me personally, almost exclusively how I use Facebook. And more of your prospects and customers are accessing, social sites and especially Facebook on mobile devices. Look at how much time people are spending on Facebook. This is an average over 6 hours per month. A lot of people are spending a lot more, especially if they're in market to buy. They're definitely on there checking out what their friends and family think about different dealerships and makes and models. And 84% of all new vehicle buyers use Facebook. I mean, that's crazy. And it's only growing with our millennials, our wonderful millennials, really now getting some cash in their back pocket with the economy getting better, and they're certainly in market to buy. And they don't even like email. They don't like to talk on the phone. They're going to be on these social networks such as Facebook. So you've got to really be there as well to connect with them. They absolutely spend a lot of their time when they are online on Facebook. So this is not something to be ignored. It's not going away. It's definitely here to stay. Look at how much sharing is happening too. So it's not just that they're on Facebook, they're actually engaged and they're taking action. We've been actively managing dealers' Facebook pages for over 4 years, and we see the growth in comments and likes and messages and engagement just continuing. So they want to be engaged, they want to have relevant content. It's no longer good enough just to have a page. That was actually never good enough. You definitely want to be there and you want to be doing something on your page to get that engagement. So with that, I think we have a poll. Let's just get engaging right now out of the gate. What do you think?
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Okay, everyone, we do have a couple poll questions coming your way today, and this one is the first one. So please turn to your computer screen, get in front of your keyboards, and answer this question for us. What is the main reason you use Facebook? And for this question, check all of them that apply. Is it to engage with potential prospects? Do you want to connect with your local community? Maybe you want to communicate with your employees and your customers? Do you want to increase your service traffic? Boy, I bet there's some dealerships out there right now who would love to know how to do that. Or maybe you're on there because you want to sell a few more cars a month. Whatever the reason is, or maybe it's a combination of many of them, let us know. We're going to talk about it and see if that is really what Facebook is for. Because I think Facebook has so many different applications, and it's all about how you use it. I really don't know if even I'm using Facebook to its full potential. I'd like to think I am, but I always think also that there's always something extra to learn about it. So,
oh my goodness. I agree. There's no wrong answers here, and in fact, all of the above, are definitely options, but it's good to know for you personally, for your dealership, what's your first priority, your second priority, because that way you can focus on it.
Yeah, you know what? We have almost everyone voting. Oh, votes are still coming in, and thank you so much for getting involved, not only with the webinar today, but also with the polling questions. We do appreciate your feedback. It really helps us to pinpoint how we can help you even further. So with almost everyone voting, I say we close this poll and share the results. I think you're going to like the results on this one, Alexi. So what you need to know is that 90% of today's audience said that they like to engage with potential prospects. 80% of today's audience said that they do it to connect with their local community. 67% of today's audience said they want to communicate with their employees and customers. 65% say that they're going to sell a few more cars by getting on Facebook. And 57% said that they want to increase their service traffic. All excellent answers. I'm very, very happy to see that it was really a majority on all of those answers. You're right. There's probably no wrong answer for this one, Alexi. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think just individually for each dealership, you've got to figure out what do you want to focus on, first, if you're just getting involved, or if you're a pro at Facebook, look at some different ways you can use it for sure. So there's definitely strategies where you can get those results in any one of those categories.
Excellent. So where do we go from here?
We are now going to move right on to Facebook best practices. And definitely I'll keep in mind the answers from the poll as we go along. So to begin with, this change with Facebook timeline, not every dealership really understands how to maximize the new features. And as we know, Facebook's always coming up with new features. So this isn't exactly a new feature, but what I thought is that just to start here, and this came out last year, I'd like to just recap on a couple of the ways you can leverage timeline. So that's where we're going to start today. To begin with, and this may seem really basic, but it's interesting when we start working with dealers, we see sometimes, you got to just start at the basics to get those covered before you move on to something more advanced. The first thing I would do if you guys are looking at how can I make my Facebook page better is I would look at your profile image. When they converted to timeline, they actually changed the dimensions, and you do not want your logo in there chopped off or kind of funky. You may even want to have a designer or a vendor partner resize that for you. And aside from the fact that you always want to have your logo and your brand, looking its best, that is what shows up whenever you do post, and if it shows up in any of your likers' news feeds. It's also a default with Facebook ad campaigns. So definitely make sure you start there and make sure your logo is looking good. And if needed, you might need to resize it and kind of stack it so that it does work properly within that space. The next thing, we've got a huge cover image. I'm sure all of you are aware. Please take advantage of it, but know the restrictions on what you can and can't do. They did make a change. Facebook is definitely trying to gear everyone towards, Facebook ads. And one of the changes they made to images on your wall with your cover photo right there is you can no longer have a huge, big promotional ad type message. Doesn't mean you can't have a testimonial or something really cool there or a beauty shot of your dealership, but you can't say come on down or visit our main website or it's red tag sale event this week. That won't fly, and it's been pretty amazing. They now have more people policing your Facebook pages. And you wouldn't want to have something up there that could actually get them to totally shut down your business page. Many of you have probably invested a lot of time. Just make sure you do know the rules. Again, going back a couple years, they weren't really policing their policies. Now they are. And just as recently as this weekend at the NADA show, I probably ran into 5 dealers that said they had pages and photos taken down because of violations like this, and they didn't even know what the rules were. So make sure you know the rules and you're doing it right. With timeline, obviously they did add a timeline to your business page, so make sure you add content. Why not talk about the story of your dealership? So many dealerships are family-run, have been in the community for so long. You guys do so much for showing your community love. Why not talk about that? Why not talk about the Little League team you sponsored that won some big tournament a year ago or 2 years ago, or talk about when your dealership was founded. That can all be added to your timeline. So definitely use that to promote your dealership. Another feature that not all dealers know about is the private messaging feature. So make sure you know as an admin, if you're managing this page yourself or if you're working with a vendor, you ask who is going to respond, how are they going to respond, and really what are the rules around responding. So make sure you know that feature, because when any prospect, customer, Facebook user messages you, they expect to get a response just like a lead. So definitely have a plan for that. Hopefully all of you know there are now 4 tabs that are available to be visible on the wall, although you can absolutely hit that expand button and see additional tabs. Of the 4 tabs, you can only control 3. Photos are always going to be that first tab. But for the other 3, you have control over that, so make sure you maximize that real estate. We continually find that having reviews, coupons, offers, those get the clicks. So definitely test that. Make sure you're looking at metrics, and you maximize that real estate, as I said. And there's other cool things you can do. We work with some dealers where right here we'll actually create a custom landing page that will allow us to do some of the things that the cover images no longer allow you to do, such as URLs and marketing messages. Photos. Those photos do change with every post, so make sure you're aware of that, you're watching that, and keep it updated, keep it fresh. You don't want to have your last photo up there from maybe Thanksgiving or some Labor Day sales event. So that is, again, really prime real estate, and make sure that you make it count. Last but not least, not all dealers are aware that the default settings for the About section, oftentimes they don't include your URL. And in our mind, if you've got consumers on your Facebook page, the path of least resistance to your website is to actually have a URL there. So why not have that URL front and center? And if you don't know how to do that, there is a settings here under your category that you're going to need to change to make that available. It's really easy to do, but we believe it's also really, really important. So definitely watch for that. Go to your page and see if you've got that setting. Now moving on to some other best practices, definitely, as I said, install those custom tabs. There's a lot of different things you can do for those tabs in that cover image. You can change it up. You know, if you're running a contest or if it's seasonal, why don't you put something up there that's relevant? It doesn't have to stay the same. But again, just like any marketing, you've got to stay on top of it. And make sure that you're also using the custom graphics. Each tab can have its own custom graphic, and there's a lot of things you can do with those tabs for sure. Whether you want to have a chat button, some inventory, integrate YouTube, you know, if you've got, you know, some other vendor tabs, but you've got to manage it to make it work for you. And definitely make sure you're using the posting tools. You know, are you highlighting key posts, pinning them, or adding them to milestones? And that's where it goes to your timeline. So you've got to have a strategy for this. Just like how you wouldn't just, you know, run any sort of old print ad or tell any company to send out any, you know, direct mail piece, you've got to have a plan and you've got to control it and direct it. Whether you've got somebody internal doing this for you, you still want to direct it, or if you've got a vendor, make sure you're engaged and you have a plan. Now, talking about content, we find one of the best strategies is to ensure that you're posting daily and that you've got a lot of variety. So you want to feature some positive testimonials or reviews. You definitely want to have OEM content on there, talk about customer success stories, encourage them to post photos, or you take those photos and upload them. You know, have trivia, have fun facts, talk about things going on in your dealership. The key is to be consistent, but also have variety. And it's absolutely okay, we found, if promotional posts, as long as it's not every single post. So definitely make sure that variety is key. And whenever you're posting, please, please have a plan to respond to comments, questions, and those private messages. So you don't want to be out there asking people what they're going to do for Valentine's and then forget to go back and maybe thank them for commenting. Or if a question pops up, you don't want to be the dealer that doesn't have somebody managing that. Because so oftentimes we've seen that when you're talking about something in a social way, you know, this is called a social network for a reason, right? If you're asking them about their weekend, suddenly we might see a question pop up about, you know, can I come in for a test drive? Or is your service department open this Saturday? You want to be there as Johnny on the spot to respond and book that test drive appointment, book that service appointment. We see that time and time again. But in the world of, you know, social media and today's world in general, consumers want fast response. They expect it. So definitely make sure you have a plan for that. And then remember to keep it personal. You know, think like a consumer. I'm sure you guys looking at this slide right now, your eyes are drawn to the images of people. Use photos in your posts. Keep it engaging. Keep it real. Definitely include photos of your staff, customers, and even just in any graphics that you're uploading. And then we've absolutely found that coupons and deals work. Now, make sure your staff know about it and definitely make sure you have a way to track it. So even if it's something like a check-in offer, you know, something small like $5 off a service repair, or something a little bit bigger that you're going to run, make sure you have, you know, a service ops code for that to track it. Make sure you talk to your staff, because the last thing you want is someone that's very engaged on social networks to come in with a coupon or an offer, and then your staff don't know what's going on. Well, as we said earlier, a lot of these users are mobile, and if they're in your dealership expecting to, you know, have educated staff and they're not, they may just go ahead and post something negative online. So they work, but make sure your staff's trained, and you definitely do track the results to know what works specific for your dealership. Again, make sure you're aware of everything that's on your page. Sometimes we find dealers aren't even aware of all the apps and things that have been loaded on their page. You know, this could be because you've had a number of different maybe internet sales directors. Maybe you do have a customer relationship manager, but they've changed a few times over the years. Maybe you had an intern in last summer. Do you know what they've loaded? The last thing you want are dead links, dead tabs, things that a, you know, consumer could find that you're not maintaining. Don't have an events tab up there if you don't have an event listed. Don't have a coupon page if you don't have a coupon that's active and not expired. So keep all of those tabs updated because people will go there, and that's what's going to get that engagement. And engagement really, really is key. So, definitely understand every part of your Facebook page. Go through it like a consumer would yourself, and also be really clear with your internal staff or any vendors that you're working with in terms of what you want them to do to keep it updated, and really be specific in terms of the content and timelines. Definitely take advantage of the real estate. So when you're posting content, are you using links? Are you also using links to control where they're going? Sometimes we definitely see dealers, think they're being helpful in posting a video from manufacturer. Next thing you know, that link goes to the OEM's YouTube page, and whoops, a customer could then find the dealer locator tab and maybe go off to one of your competitors. So definitely make sure that if you are posting URLs and you're using that real estate, keep them on online assets you control, your own website. If you're going to post reviews, take them to somewhere where it's your page you're controlling and it's updated, or better yet, use a testimonial feed right there on your Facebook page. There's a number of ways you can do that. We'd love to give you some tips on that, but definitely just be conscious of it. So if you're posting, you have someone else posting, know where these URLs are going. In terms of custom tabs, some things we find that work really, really well is actually contests. A little tip, though, we want to give you, and this goes back to when Facebook really started policing their own terms and conditions. One of the changes they made, going on almost a year ago now, is that you are actually not allowed to run contests just through wall posts. Not everybody knows this, but you actually need a contest app. And you can talk about your contest in your wall post, but you can't say comment here to win, or actually just use your wall and that posting to enter the contest. So that's sometimes a new little piece of information not all dealers know, and again, we've lately seen dealers getting their page taken down for doing that. Part of the reason for this is, Facebook wants to control what's going on. It is their site, but they're also seeing that contests paired with Facebook ads work really, really well. So it's a way for them to track that and obviously encourage people to use Facebook ads. So definitely make sure you're aware of that. When we've seen contests paired with Facebook ads, it actually really does work very, very well. And in fact, a real reason to want to do that is in the contest apps, in our contest app, we actually have a lead form. So as we talked about, likers are fine, but you want to get love, and if you really want to get some love, you got to know who you want to get that loving from, right? So why not have a contest app that captures their name, their email, their phone number, whatever you want to capture. So suddenly these aren't nameless, faceless, likes on a page. You can now actually drive leads from contests, and that's what we encourage. And we also find that a lot of dealers do need to get more likes. You want to get those likes to turn them into people that love your dealership, and a contest is a great way to do that. So, and you can certainly just run that on your page on its own and hope that your likers will share that page. But we've again found that when you pair that with Facebook ads, you're going to get that reach. You're going to get fresh eyeballs on your page, and then ultimately you do want to convert that so you get some leads. And then when you're running any sort of contest, definitely talk about who's winning. Make sure it's a requirement legally that if they're opting in, you can use their name, that you can use this in marketing, and just make sure you check all the boxes in terms of what you should do to run a contest, for sure. But this is really a great way to jumpstart engagement and also, as I said, get some more lead gen going. Because once you capture maybe 600 names, and emails, man, isn't that great? That's fresh people you could be marketing to ongoing. And then look at your results. It's not just about getting the likes and the leads, but are you getting engagement? And then are you going to turn those new followers and likers and people that now maybe love your dealership into sales for you? So look at Facebook Insights. Compare that to clicks to your main website. And if you're running some sort of special offer in conjunction with a contest, maybe go back out to everybody that entered that contest and give them one of those coupons or service offers that's unique to this Facebook promotion. That's a great way to track to see, are you ultimately getting sales? The dealers that get it and have the metrics and pair all of these things together absolutely drive sales and service traffic for sure. Another tip we wanted to share with Facebook, and this really, really is a best practice. I'm not sure how many of you know how rigid the Facebook filter, the dreaded filter, has become. The Facebook filter is the filter where it only now shows by default some posts in a consumer's newsfeed. In fact, only about 10% of your likers are ever going to see your posts. And that's a secret that you may not know. So you could have 1,000 likes on your page, and at best, only 100 people would ever see your posts in their news feed. That's kind of scary. Well, the reason why they're doing that is twofold. One, a lot of people, personal people that are on Facebook, consumers, have maybe at this point liked a lot of different business pages. They've got a lot of friends. And if every single one of those posts were to show up in their news feed, I think Facebook's worried about people just being overwhelmed. It'd be like getting way too many emails and being seen as a spammer, right? So that's one reason. But the real reason why they're doing it is they want to sell Facebook ads. Facebook is no longer free. It is a public company now. They have to make money, and the big way they're doing that is around Facebook ads. So who's going to pay for Facebook ads? Businesses. And why should they do that? Because they want to actually get their message out through this network to people that currently like their page as well as new audiences. Well, one way you can kind of beat that filter is you can actually integrate all of your social content, your Facebook content, as well as other sites into a toolbar on your main website. And in that case, it's not just people that like your page, but literally every single person that goes to your website, and hopefully it's a dealer-on website, everyone that goes to that amazing website now can, in essence, see all of your posts, whether or not they like your page. But then right there from the toolbar, they can like the page and even comment and share feedback, all without going off of your website. So the last thing we want to do is have random links on your website and then take people off your great dealer-on website to all of these social networks where they can get lost. They can start, chatting with their friends and looking at photos of their family, and next thing you know, they forgot where they even were, and they're no longer on your website. So this is a really, really big deal. Today, it's pretty amazing. We've seen many dealers now just absolutely even refuse to work with a website vendor unless they can control this toolbar and really make sure it integrates really, really well with their social media vendors, with the social sites, and have all the functionality they want. So I would strongly have you guys consider doing something with the toolbar, regardless of vendor you choose, because it's a great way to beat that filter and really keep people on your page.
That is a really great toolbar. We already have some people that are writing in and asking that, just so we're clear and everyone understands, that toolbar is not a dealer-on toolbar. That's a digital airstrike toolbar. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, we've got a toolbar that we like to be Switzerland, so we like to work with everybody.
I totally get you. Yeah.
Yeah, but it works great on the dealer-on websites. But that's actually our toolbar. It's got a lot of great content. And one of the reasons why it is ours is that for dealers that work with us, and you don't have to work with us to get our toolbar, but we're very proud of our posts. We're very proud of the content, and we want to make sure people see it. So, but we also, work with a lot of vendors. So we're, again, Switzerland. Regardless of chat company you work with, we'll put that link on there. We'll put, really anything on there for you, and we love to work with great vendors like Dealer-On because they're very much like us in the fact that we're here to work for you. So whatever, vendors you work with, any content you want, we want to make sure you get it on any sites. In fact, we do know some dealers obviously have multiple websites out there, whether it's an OEM website provider you have to work with, and then there's the other website you really like. So we want to make sure that we're very flexible that way.
Yes. Okay, so for those people who wrote in, I hope that answered your question. Jason, Jim, Mike, and then Joseph wrote in, I'm a current digital airstrike customer. Is there an additional cost for the toolbar?
Well, that's a great question. We definitely want this to be an educational webinar, not a sales pitch. It really would depend on the kind of customer you are, but you'll find, hopefully you found already, we really like to work with our customers and show you lots of love. So how about we say if there's any digital airstrike customers on the line today, regardless of the type of customer you are, we'll just go ahead and give you that toolbar. There's normally a price, but if you don't have it, I'll show you some love, and I'll make sure you get it.
Ooh, look at you pulling out your Monty Hall hat. I love it. You are in luck, my friend.
That was not a plant question, by the way.
No, it wasn't. And he already wrote and he said awesome. So
cool.
Okay, we have a lot of questions coming in already, so I'm going to hold off on the rest of those questions until the end. All right. Thank you so much for answering those, Alexi.
Perfect. Yeah, and you guys will find, honestly, obviously we're a vendor out there, but we're just very passionate about the space, speaking of the web. And even if you use a couple different vendors for a couple pieces of your social, planned, that's okay, or you're doing it in-house. We just want you to do something and do it right, because the dealers that are seeing traffic. And another area that we find that really, really, really helps is to not forget about reviews, because social sites can impact your reputation. So reviews are no longer just on review sites. Absolutely, more and more consumers will be on your page talking about things. We've seen it on our page. You know, we're not a perfect vendor, right? Sometimes dealers will jump on our page and ask us questions, or say, hey, you know, I left you a voicemail yesterday. Can someone please get back to me? So we've absolutely got to manage our own page the same way you should, and we really encourage you to look at that. So check this out. So this is, full disclosure, one of our customers and dealer clients, and you'll see here somebody was upset with them, right? But because we were able to work with them, get back to them, and respond, you can fix a situation on your Facebook page. Absolutely, don't just delete those comments or reviews. You want to show the world that you care, you're going to respond, and you're going to try to fix it. Every business in the world sometimes has something go on that, you know, isn't exactly the way you'd like to have it happen. We're all human. Just fix it. And oftentimes, if you can do a service save like that, those people that are originally frustrated end up being your biggest loyal fans. So definitely check this out, right? They were upset. We helped the dealer know that the comment was there, respond for them, and then the dealer fixed the situation, and isn't that cool? So definitely please make sure you check all of your social sites, including Facebook. Have a plan to respond to people on the sites. And sometimes it's just, you know, just like reviews, happy people. Still respond. You know, there's nothing worse than someone showing you some love and you not responding. So definitely don't forget that social sites can actually be review sites as well. All right, I think we're on to the next poll question. Drum roll.
Whoa, is it already time for another poll question? Okay, I'm ready. Okay, everyone, time to get in front of your computers and let us know what you think. So what we want to know is, how often do you post to your dealership's Facebook page? So for this one, select just one of the following options. Is it 1 to 3 times per day, 1 to 3 times per week, 1 to 3 times per month? Maybe it's not really consistent, you just get to it whenever you can. That's fine too. Or maybe you've hired somebody to take care of that for you. Have you hired a vendor to manage that? So you're not really sure exactly how often they do it. Whatever the answer is, we want to know. And in just a few moments, you're going to find out what the rest of the people on the webinar also had to say. We have a lot of votes coming in. Again, thank you so much for getting involved. It's not just enough to show up and listen. It's great when you guys get involved, and we really, really appreciate it. Okay, are you ready for this, Alexi? You want to see what my
I am. Bring it.
my very, very smart and very savvy webinar audience has to say? Okay, here we go. Let's close this poll and share the results. With a majority of the votes in, let's see, the winner is 43% of today's audience said they do it 1 to 3 times per week. Pretty good. I like that. Now, 37% of today's audience said that they do it 1 to 3 times a day. Wow, that's a lot.
That sounds like fun.
I know, right? I wish I had that kind of time. Okay, 14% of today's audience said that they're not consistent with the post because of a lack of time. Totally understandable. 4% of today's audience said they only do it 1 to 3 times a month. And there's a small percentage of people, 2%, said that they hire a vendor to take care of all of that for them.
Got it. Great, great. Well, I'm glad to see there's a lot of people that are active. Our recommendation, honestly, is daily because of that Facebook filter. So you can't, it's not like email. You can't post too often, honestly, because think about it. Every 10th post someone might see. Literally, if you wanted to reach everybody every day, you'd have to post 10 times a day. No kidding.
What?
And even then, it's not a guarantee. Isn't that crazy, the dreaded Facebook filter? It's like the dirty little secret. Unless, of course, you guys have that toolbar, then a lot of people are going to see it, even if they don't like your page. You know, I'll tell you, more and more consumers just won't like business pages because they don't want to see that thing popping up in their filter, but they still like the content, or in their newsfeed. They still like the content, right? So don't be shy about posting. You really can't do it too frequently.
But how far apart should they be posted so that they don't get just like lumped into, hey, ABC Ford posted 3 posts, you know?
Well, the reality is that with that filter rotation, not everyone's going to see all those posts anyway, right? Part of it, there is some logic to it. Some of it is your engagement levels. So I know the filter question, I'm sure we'll get lots at the end. You're engaged. If people are engaging in your page, they're going to see more of the posts. So you probably don't really want to do it 10 times a day. But if they are engaged, the reason why they got engaged is because you posted something that they're looking at, they're clicking on, they're sharing, they're commenting on, right? They're liking. So not everybody's going to respond to the same kind of post, and that's, again, why that variety is key. So lots of tips there. If you're not working with a vendor, that can actually be a hybrid strategy. So we definitely have some dealers that work with us where they really want to post a lot of their local content, but we help free them up from, doing it so frequently. So maybe, their internet director is going to just post twice a week about something very specific to the store, where we're posting about manufacturer content, trivia questions, some Valentine's Day fun, and also posting about their positive reviews and things like that. So there's definitely a hybrid approach you can do as well that can work really well. So there's no one solution, that works for everybody, but I would encourage you to have a plan for it. All right, let's move on to inventory and marketplace. Here's another thing a lot of dealers don't know, and I'm all about, spreading the love and sharing a lot of information with the whole industry. There are many dealers today that have, through whatever vendor, got an inventory feed on their Facebook page. And they think, wow, I've got my inventory on Facebook, I'm going to get a bunch of leads. We honestly do not see leads coming from inventory on individual business pages for dealers. It just doesn't happen. Most of the people that go to these Facebook pages, and we have 4 years of data, thousands and thousands of dealers to back this up, they're going there to interact with you in a social manner. They can get inventory on your main website. They've maybe already been to your main website, right? So your dealer on website. So they're going to Facebook, most people, to see what other people are saying about you, to find out about a coupon or an offer, read a review. Where you're going to get leads from Facebook isn't actually on your page, shocking. There's actually a service called Marketplace, and it works a little bit like a hybrid between eBay and Craigslist. So it's not good enough to just have Facebook inventory. You want to be working with someone that's going to give you Facebook inventory paired with Marketplace. So yes, you still will get your inventory on your Facebook page, but you also get everything in your inventory on something called Marketplace. So this is an example of the Marketplace inventory integration. It's on this dealer's page. This is their page where consumers can go in, click around and view inventory. But where you really want to care about it is right on Marketplace itself. So Marketplace is an app for consumers. They actually can go in, they can download it. It can be something they can see from their mobile device, from their page, and they can search for anything they want to buy. It doesn't have to just be vehicles. So maybe they want a new couch, they're looking for maybe a Coach purse, something, for Valentine's Day. But yeah, they are in market to buy a car too. So they can go in and search by make, model, by where they live, and then inventory is going to show up just like it would on a third-party lead provider. It doesn't say that this vehicle is with a dealer. It could be a consumer. It could be a vehicle. When they do click on it, though, and they want more information, how cool is this? The leads go into your CRM as leads, just like it would from any lead provider. And you're going to see that coming from Marketplace. In fact, it's called Oodle Leads. They haven't really fixed that yet, but Oodle is the vendor that originally built the Marketplace. So this is where we're seeing dealers are literally, you guys, getting 2 to 3 vehicle leads a day, and this is through Facebook. Worst case, if you got a lead every other day that's very qualified for a specific vehicle, that might be 50 qualified leads a month. I know you guys are really savvy. You're going to close, what, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least, right? Wouldn't you like that?
I would
so
like it.
That's going to more than pay for the cost of Marketplace. It's really inexpensive, you guys. There's a few vendors offering it. We can help you with it, but don't ignore this, because honestly, inventory just on your page is not going to get you these leads. It has to be integrated with Marketplace. So if you don't know about it, find out about it. Other dealers have it. And again, maybe the volume isn't huge. You're not necessarily looking at AutoTrader or Cars.com leads right now. But I can tell you we work really, really closely with Facebook. We have an office in Silicon Valley. We're a digital partner of Facebook. We had Facebook in our booth at NADA. We know they're going to start really promoting this, and this thing's going to take off. So Get in now, start getting some leads, and see what it can do for you. All right, on to Facebook ads. This is the other kind of drum roll. Actually, no, before we go here, I think this is when we're going to go check out some Facebook pages before we get into Facebook ads. So we had some volunteers here, I believe.
Yes, and you know what? We actually picked one. Let me see. I have to go back up here and get it. Her name is Helene Miller, and Helene, get ready, because I'm going to unmute you, and then we're going to set you loose on this world. Here we go, Helene. Hi, Helene. How are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
Oh, you sound great. Helene is with Haas Auto Mall. Why don't you tell everyone where Haas Auto Mall is?
It's in Ravenna, Ohio. It's about an hour south of Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. So, Alexi, you have the link? Oh, there you are.
I do, and I should have it up now. Can you guys see it?
Yes, look at that. That's very colorful.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you for volunteering to get some tips here. So what I'll do this really quickly. And thank you for being a volunteer. I absolutely love auto because you guys are all about, going to 20 groups and you're not afraid to maybe be, you're open to feedback.
I actually just got back from 20 group today, so.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. So a couple tips if you don't mind, and you're super brave to let us do this live on a webinar. I'll just go through some of the things I just shared, and I'm going to point out some opportunities maybe for improvement if that's okay with you.
I am more than happy to take the feedback.
Okay, perfect. So this cover image, I love you guys did a custom one, but because you're talking about deals every day, it's really borderline with those Facebook new rules around your cover image. So they say you're not supposed to have any marketing message. It's a little borderline, but I would tell you that if I was one of the Facebook ad police working at Facebook, I'm pretty sure they would take that down. The other thing I would say right here with your profile image, that's what shows up in your posts. It's going to be itty bitty bitty tiny tiny like down here, right? Like my little picture here. This is my personal page. You can see me and my son, but you're not going to know what that is. In fact, someone might think it's a I'd put your logo in there. I'd stack it and use this screen, the cover image, to show all the cool, fun stuff it looks like you guys do at the store.
Yeah.
On a side note, I love the Wizard of Oz. That's pretty funny. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you guys are super creative. I can tell you do a lot of neat things, and this is what you want. You want fun stuff on Facebook, so that's awesome. Yeah, I'll be bad cop, and Aliana should be good cop here. So, but yeah, you look in here. So as I said, this is this default. That's kind of funky, right? You don't have a link to your website. Now, I know, because I know this, that I can hit About, and I can go in as a consumer and find your link, but that's another step, right? So chances are that, most consumers don't know that. They don't know Facebook like I know it. So you might want to look at changing those settings. You've got a really fun photo there that's awesome that you show a little guy. But look at these other ones here. Again, I would say, people know how many likes you have. And no offense, but this is a little lower than the average. So I probably wouldn't be promoting that when you could have something else really cool here. Same thing with the map. They can, click that. They can find you. You don't need to show kind of an itty-bitty map. And if they're in market, they probably know the area, so you probably don't have to show that necessarily. Even with events, you can have actually tabs and custom graphics that could talk about why someone should like your page. So if this is me, I'm a consumer, I'm immediately going, why should I like them and follow them? Instead of just having a photo, maybe your last event photo, this could actually be a custom thumbnail graphic saying that you do an event every month, like the page, to be invited to events, And then this is where other events can be here. This is actually your event calendar, which is great. You guys do events, but is it updated? Let's just take a look here.
Oh, and also,
that's an old event, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, and I have been trying to figure out how to change the order of those tabs forever.
I was just going to say, she wrote in earlier and asked that question. So she wants to know how to...
We can help you with that. Not that you have to work with us, but we'll give you a tip. But what we normally do for our dealers is we actually fully manage that for you. So you never...
Alexi?
It's still cool to show the old ones, which is cool too, Yeah. Quick point in events while I've got you guys here. Events don't just have to be something at your dealership. I mean, it's cool you guys do a lot of, looks like really fun things at your dealership. But think about it. An event can be anything that is a start date and an end date That can be manufacturer incentives. It can be anything going on that you can load as an event, and that cuts through that dreaded filter. So what is, the big incentive going on with, Jeep or Dodge this month, right? That could be an event. So don't be shy about loading that as an event. So there's always something up there.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, do both. Do it all. So it looks like, oh, good, you posted. That's very, very cool. You're cross-promoting with different pages, which is great. Always fun to have an image. You can really see how that jumps off your page. You're showing some love. Oh, good. Good job. You are commenting on the comments, which is awesome. So it's always fun to have that in there. Just one thing I would say, right here, someone might click that and go off your page. So if you're working with the auto show, you could actually create that as an event on your own page and talk about it. You don't always have to take them off. And that's what I meant about taking people off your page to other pages. It's okay if that's something you're cool with, but some dealers really aren't, and you want to keep them on there. Here's another thing. So this is actually that kind of giveaway that if I was the Facebook police, I'd be like, wait a minute, you're not using a contest app. You might think this is really innocent, and I know all dealers get, movie tickets or something you guys want to give away. That technically is running a sweepstakes or a contest. Same thing here. So as long as you had a contest app, that's cool, and then you'd actually be getting leads from it because you could be asking them to enter their phone number and email. You can still talk about it, but then you're not just running it on your page.
Yep.
So that's just a few tips. I know we're going to kind of move this along, but thank you for being super brave to let us go on there. And other things just in general I would say you might want to consider. You should maybe, have a coupon page and have review feed and have all of that in there because you can actually work it all in, and it doesn't always just have to be through your posts. And again, we could give you some tips on how those tabs work for sure.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you again for being super brave. So with that,
I was going to say, Helene, thank you so much. Alexi, were you done saying thank you? Because I was going to thank her.
Yeah, go for it. We'll all thank her because that's a great thing to do. But
Helene, for being so brave and so awesome and so wonderful and so nice, even though Alexi totally told you what else you could do to your Facebook page.
No, that's fine.
You are our first prize winner today. You are going to win an iPad mini valued at $360.
That is absolutely awesome.
Courtesy of Digital Airstrike. Thank you, Digital Airstrike, for your generosity, and thank you, Helene, for being such a great sport. We really appreciate it, and thank you for coming on our webinars, too.
I love all your guys' webinars.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that.
I come as often as possible.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to mute you, and we're going to get back to the show now. Okay, thanks so much.
Yep.
Yeah, and for anybody else that wants a quick audit, we're more than happy to do that at no charge. So there's actually a place on our website. It's called a surveillance report. So if anybody else wants some help, just a quick little report. We like to point at least 10 things. And if you want to put in there, you just want us to look at Facebook or look at other things for you, we're more than happy to spread some love and help anybody that does want some tips. So with that, we're going to move back to Facebook ads. Why Facebook advertising? They've changed the rules, as I said, with their new algorithms. The news feed, you really do have to pay to play. So not all of your likers see your posts. It's kind of a little bit of a dirty secret. As I said, maybe 10% if you're not doing Facebook ads. So it's maybe really worth that investment, especially for some key messages. Maybe not every post you want to get out there. You're not going to be constantly running ads, but it's definitely worth it to consider for at least some of those key posts you do every month. And you've got to understand what you want. So it can help you get brand new people to like your page. It can also help you to get engagement with people that already like your page. So it's about awareness as well as, getting people ultimately to your dealership website. It is not just about getting those likes. You want to get the likes to get the engagement, to get them to click over to ultimately do business with you. So look at it holistically in that manner. We recently did a study back in October. We surveyed 1,600 recent car buyers, and we found that 32% of them that were using Facebook absolutely recall seeing ads from local dealerships. So if you're not there, your competition is, and you really want to consider it. And we do that study every 6 months. We always track it, and we're just seeing that growth continuing for sure. Of the 32% that saw the ad, 16% clicked on it. That's huge, you guys. That's amazing. There's no kind of results like that. So they're definitely not just seeing them. They do want to know what you have to say, and they will click that ad. And how about this? We found 77% of the people on your page, the fans, typically live within 50 miles of your location. So it's really key because you can dial in, you can target local people in your community. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure everybody needs a car or they need to get a car serviced, pretty much everyone. So they are in market and they're physically close to your dealership. So these aren't just people, across the country. They are going to be people in market, and you can target the ads in that manner. So you can do an email campaign as well. This is kind of interesting. So it's not just going and finding new people. With custom campaigns, you can actually upload your email database lists and then target specific people that you already know are your prospects and customers. So there's tons of ways you guys can cross-promote and reach people, but you can only do that, if you are actually on Facebook ads. There's ways to target by actual impressions as well. So, pick a number like 100,000 impressions, grab email lists from your current customers, and then get really targeted. There's a number of ways that you can run these different campaigns to make sure it's very specific and you're getting that exposure to get the engagement to ultimately drive that website traffic. Couple different ways you can do it. So there's not just one way to advertise on Facebook. There's sponsored stories, there's contests. Now, you have to pay for Facebook offers. I don't know if you guys know that anymore. They started off offering it for free, and now you got to pay for it, as well as the targeted ads and promoted posts. So I could do a whole webinar probably on just how to do Facebook ads alone. We're going to give you some tips today, but definitely if you guys want more information, we're here to help. A couple key differences you've got to know about. So promoted posts are different than sponsored stories and custom campaigns. Promoted posts, you might now start seeing that pop up when you actually do a post if you're doing it yourself. And you can pay to promote it. When you do a promoted post, it goes to your current liker audience. So it's basically beating the filter. So instead of just maybe randomly 10% of the people that like your page seeing your post in their news feed, you can actually promote your post to everybody that likes your page and friends of theirs. So if I like a page, my friends, and I might have, 500 friends, could also see that in their feed, because the logic is that, I'm friends with people that have similar tastes and interests, and if I like a dealership's page, my friends might see it as well. Sponsored stories and custom email campaigns are different. That's where you target it with an ad that's going to show up on the sidebar. So it's definitely a little different. Know the difference, try both, and see what works for your dealership. A couple quick examples of what we found works. We recently worked with Tempe Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and we like to tie things into something that's local. Again, Facebook is so social. People want to know what's going on in their region. So we just had the Phoenix Open. It was amazing. I don't know if you guys are golfers and you saw any of the coverage, but Michelson was awesome, and I got to be there for one day. It was really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great to go, and this dealer, we did a campaign where we actually got some exclusive Greenskeeper tickets. You can't buy these. They were really cool. We integrated it into a contest app, but also then promoted it through different types of Facebook ads. And then we also tied it into a donation to a local charity that they promote. So Facebook is really the way to bring everything holistically, to your page and show your community you care. Give them a chance to win something. And it was a really successful campaign. They were able to generate, I swear, in 2 weeks, over 1,300 qualified likes. The cost per like was really, really low. And then of the people that liked the page, 1,000 people gave us their names and email addresses.
Whoa.
This dealer now has 1,000 new people to market to. Isn't that really cool?
That was very successful for them. They must have been happy with that.
Yeah, no kidding. And not only that, but they made a lot of donations. They donated and supported the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, so it was all good. And then we're able to talk about that for them on their page. So just really, really cool things going on there. We also had a custom audience match rate that was really high. This is where we did get their email database, and we uploaded it. So we were targeting people in their own database from their CRM. 61% of everyone in their CRM we found had a Facebook page that we could match to. So if I was in their database as a customer or prospect, I saw their ad for sure on my page, and we were able to get those match rates. So really, really cool campaign. So you can get results for sure. So we wanted to share, last but not least, a couple new things coming to Facebook. This is like a coming soon area. You may have heard what's happening with Facebook search. So now consumers can go in and they can search for, things just like Ford dealerships. If I'm a customer that turns my search on and my nearby feature, I'm already dialed in and Facebook knows where I am. So if I type in something like Ford dealerships, it's going to now show everyone that are in market, and did any of my friends like the page? So popularity is what it's all about now. So this is a brand new feature. If you're not aware of it, again, I could spend a lot of time going into it. I want you guys to know it's out there right now for search. What's coming soon is something called Facebook Nearby. It's not yet available for automotive. It's coming. Our little sources are telling us that expect to see this in 3 to 6 months for sure. They're already launching it for non-auto categories. So restaurants, spas, this is already out there. So if I've just done that little search and I'm looking for what's nearby when I'm logged into Facebook on my phone, soon it's going to show dealerships. And not only that, reviews are now on Facebook. They're not here yet for auto. They're here for restaurants and other businesses, but soon they will be. So Facebook has been quietly gathering reviews on businesses, and then once they turn nearby on for automotive, if I'm just on my phone, on the weekend, evenings, driving around, it's going to pop up car dealers soon, and it's going to show your reviews on Facebook. Crazy, right? So be aware of it, watch for it, follow our blogs, follow, industry blogs. You're definitely going to hear about it once it's here.
And you think that's going to be like June time?
We don't. They don't want to say. They usually tell us, the day it happens, but it's coming. 3 to 6 months is my guess.
Wow,
so,
that's going to be.
What does this all mean to you? Just to wrap up the love. Well, you ultimately want to get increased website traffic. If you've got an active community, if you're running coupons and ads, you're going to want to point them back to your main website. Track it. See also your Facebook traffic. If you've got an engaged. If you've got a lot of content and engagement on your Facebook page, it's going to rank for page 1 search results, which is going to help you get more traffic. And then ultimately, it's going to help you have that lower sales and service funnel. If people are engaging with you on Facebook, they're more likely in market to buy. So ultimately, you want to track those leads coming to your dealership's website, your dealer on website, ultimately to your store for sure. So track everything you do. Take a look at it. Make sure you've got engaging posts, and then ultimately stimulate that traffic. Have offers. Have offers on there so you can track it, and make sure that you do promote both service and sales for sure. Ultimately, your consumers are on Facebook. They are their prospects, customers. It's not going away. So set it up properly, manage them with engaging content, and then have offers and ways to track if you are getting that dealership traffic. Look at Google Analytics, all about the traffic. You want to link those social sites, Facebook sites, to your main website and see if they're converting and they're staying on page longer. You've got lower bounce rates. All that good stuff you should be tracking anyway for all your sites. Please track it, because when you do it the right way, you will see jumps in traffic for sure. So, and time again, we do see that once dealers are actively managing it, whether they're doing it themselves or working with a vendor like us, suddenly, wow, Facebook works for them and they get more love, and they can absolutely try that into walk-ins or event traffic that they wouldn't have had, otherwise. So, feel the love. We're on to our giveaway now. That's the presentation, and I think we have one more giveaway, don't we?
Yes, we do. The good folks over at Digital Airstrike are giving away yet another prize. So if you missed the announcement earlier, well, I'm here to tell you that they have generously offered up another fantastic prize today for another lucky attendee. So one of you is going to win a 1-month Facebook ad campaign valued at $400 from Digital Airstrike. Is there anyone better in the business that can do this? I don't think so. So all you have to do is answer a simple question about the presentation that Alexi just gave. So I need you to get right in front of your computer screen, get right in front of your keyboard. Fastest fingers usually wins, okay? So get ready. First one to write in the correct response to this question is going to be walking away with a 1-month Facebook ad campaign. Totally worth it. Are you ready? Here we go. Are you ready, Alexi?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. I'm watching the screen. I'm going to see who writes in first. Okay, the question is, and good luck, everyone, Which type of Facebook ad targets your current liker base? What is the name of the type of Facebook ad that targets your current liker base? Do we have a winner? Oh, we have a winner. We have a winner. I'm very excited. Now, here we go. The winner. Oh, wait, stop writing. Oh my gosh. I have to scroll up for this now. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. The winner is the first few people who wrote in did not get it right. But the person who did get it right, and oh, of course you have to have the most difficult name out there, but then again, my name's Eliana, so I can understand that. The winner is Alejandra, oh my goodness, I can't say your last name, Zampino. I hope I got that right. Alejandra Zampino. And the correct response was promoted posts. So congratulations, Alejandra Zampino. Write in and let me know what dealership you're from. Looking forward to this 1-month Facebook ad campaign from Digital Airstrike. Congratulations.
Yay, awesome. Glad everyone's still joining us here in the webinar. And now I think we'll move on to questions.
Oh, my goodness.
I think we're almost at the end. It's been lots of engagement, which is awesome. Couple questions now, but you guys, if you want to write in any additional questions, we'll separately take it offline and answer them for you directly, individually.
I got news for you. Tons of questions came in from the audience during your presentation. Tons. But we will start from this one from Angela. She says, how is Facebook Marketplace inventory different than just a feed on my page? By the way, we had a lot of other questions about Marketplace. For instance, is it available in Canada? I don't see it. How do I get it? How, all this kind of stuff. So
Sure. Well, what we could definitely do, love to, as I said, we'll capture those questions individually. We can show you how it works. Great questions there. So basically, how it's different is that you actually have to be working with someone that has a partnership with Facebook Marketplace's vendor, which is Oodle. You can, on your own, go and try to contact Oodle and try to pay them. I'm telling you, it's going to be really expensive. So a number of vendors, we're one of them. It's actually kind of a short list, have negotiated group rates to get that rate down really, really low. And we've got a flat rate for an inventory feed where you can get it both on your dealership's Facebook page and all of that fed into Marketplace. You don't pay per lead. So that's the main difference with other third-party vendors, or it's one package. And our package is basically what we've heard the same as what some other vendors charge you just to have inventory only on your own Facebook page, which seems kind of crazy. When we first went into this a couple years ago, we did just have inventory, and then we added Marketplace. The leads went through the roof. I mean, it's honestly almost like nobody submits leads from your own Facebook page. You have to be on Marketplace to get any of those leads. And a lot of it is pre-owned traffic, which is fine. You guys make a lot of money on pre-owned for sure, because they're kind of searching for specific vehicles. But when it's pre-owned, it tends to be really qualified traffic, right? So if I'm looking for a 2008 Camry in a certain color and yours pops up, that's a more qualified lead than just somebody randomly saying, hey, do you have Camrys in stock? So definitely encourage you guys to consider it. Offline, whether it's us or you're talking to another vendor, I just encourage you to get a demo and get their rates for sure. But it's worth doing. I mean, think about it. Look at just do the math. Again, if you got, sold 5 more cars off of it, what would that be worth to you in a month? And just compare that to the cost the vendor's going to, charge you.
I totally agree with you, and I know I think a lot of people were impressed by it because we have a lot of questions about that Marketplace app. So hopefully she answered your question. We have so many other questions to get to, and Alexa, you should put it on the slide with your pretty headshot and your contact information. People want to see you.
Well, thank you.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, here is the contact info. Certainly you guys can email me direct. Go to our Facebook page, go to our main website. There's a lot of places you can hit, ask us a question, follow our own blog. We're definitely here to help. Whether or not you're a customer, you guys will find we're one of those industry people, just like Dealer On. That's awesome just to share information, whether or not you work with us.
And by the way, yes, you heard her correctly. If you would like a Facebook page audit, simply write to her and let her know, and she'll get it taken care of for you. Right, Alexi?
That's right. On our website, it's called Surveillance Report, or email me directly. We need, a couple days to do them because we want to do it right, and then we will follow up with actually a real pretty report that'll show you exactly what we can do for you. And if you only want to know about Facebook, that's great, but if you actually want us to take a look at other social sites or review sites, just maybe mention that, and we'll make sure it's really customized for you.
Gotcha. Well, I have a great question from Trish I would love to ask you, Alexi. Trish wants to know, well, she says her showroom and her service department are at separate locations. They're about 4 miles apart. Should she have a page for each location?
The answer to that, and we get that sometimes around, different brands within a dealership group or different, just locations, I would say you want to be consistent in how you market it. So do you actively market the 2 locations as 2 different locations in other mediums? So would you really be promoting the 2 different addresses, or is it just they're kind of down the street just because you guys, that's how the real estate, cookie crumbled, and you really market it as one dealership, but it just happens to be, in a slightly different location. Just be consistent in how you market it. If you market it as one dealership that just happens to, if people are going to the service drive, you send them slightly down the road, I would just have one page, but talk about it on your page. If you're taking appointments for test drives versus service, make sure that they're clear that you do have 2 locations. So it'd be harder for me personally to maintain 2 different Facebook pages and 2 different social media campaigns. But, it just goes back to how you market it. Now, there's a different strategy when it comes to reviews. So review sites, and I know this isn't a review site webinar, but that you're going to have a listing and a page based on your physical location, whether you like it or not. So in that case, on some of those other networks, you're going to have to list 2 different locations. One little caveat, when Facebook Nearby shows up, you're going to have to see how they list you, because they're going to suddenly act more like a review site. So that's a little bit of a complicated answer. We could take a look at it and help you with it separately. These things are always a moving target. So the answer today might be have one page. Facebook Nearby pops up, and they're suddenly, whether you like it or not, showing you as 2 locations. You may have to go ahead and split it up.
Trish, I hope that helped you out. Great answer, Alexi. I want to get to this next question. Of course, Trish, if you have a follow-up question, please let us know. Kim wrote in, and she says, are there any free contest apps out there? I have only seen paid ones.
That's a really good question. I'm going to answer it on the opposite to start. There's a lot of really expensive ones out there. Crazy expensive. We've seen some.
Well, what's expensive?
Well, we've seen some vendors that are trying to market that to run one custom contest, it's $5,000.
What?
Just for the technology, not for the prize or anything, right? So that's one end of the spectrum. On the other end of the spectrum, there's some programs and vendors that will include it in a package. So you're not necessarily paying for it. Technically, you could say it's free. I'll tell you that we're one of those. So in one of our packages, we believe really strongly in contests. We just include it for our dealers. They need to furnish the prize because you guys all have your own ideas about what you want to give away. And oftentimes you can get really cool things like those exclusive greenskeeper golf tickets or, concert tickets from your other vendors, right? Your newspaper rep or your cable rep. So it doesn't cost you anything, plus it's local. So, but our app and a lot of our package, we just build it in because it works really, really well, and it works really, really well with the Facebook ads. So there's the full range. I would be really leery of just like Googling and finding some free contest app out there because usually, you get what you pay for, and if it's truly just people are giving it away, you're not going to get the benefits like the lead capture. Maybe they're not even a Facebook-approved vendor. And the last thing you want to do is partner up with some kind of hack company that then gets your page banned or taken down by Facebook. So definitely be really careful. The other thing we've seen, and this is around games as well as some contests, if some vendors may give it to you for free, but what they do is they actually will take everyone that goes through the contest app and market other businesses to them. Could even be competing dealers. And that's really kind of scary. We've seen that happen. I could give you guys offline some real screenshots and examples of that. So just be really, really, careful of anything that claims to be free because it usually isn't. And like I said, what we do is we do have a standalone price for ours, but in many cases, when we give our dealers a package, we don't nickel and dime, and we just include a lot of cool things in there because we know it works. So I hope that helps.
Kim, I hope that helped too. So if you have any follow-up questions, please let us know. let's get to this question from Mitch. You had mentioned earlier, Alexi, about reviews. Well, Mitch has a question about that. He says, what about Dealer Rater reviews? Dealer Rater was set to post up to 5 a day, and some days we were getting 4 or 5, and I felt it was too much in addition to the personal engagement, so I reduced it to once a day. Should I have done that?
Yeah, I would agree with you, Mitch. What we believe in is a variety from review sites, and we actually use with our dealers a review feed where we feed into the custom tab all of your positive reviews. But we're not going to post about every single one on your wall. And I think that's really a better strategy, and we can show you examples. We test it. So again, because we work with all the review sites, we actively work with 20 review site vendors for our dealers. We see that we want to promote different pages sometimes. So as an example, if we get an Edmunds review, but we know you only have 4 reviews in Edmunds, we might put that on your wall because we want to drive more people to your page to maybe comment and see it. Whereas if you're over posting with one review site, it doesn't look authentic. It doesn't look real. And I would agree that with your gut on that, that's just like too much from one site. So, I know individual sites would love it for their own purposes. They want to get more people looking at their review site, but we think it's better to have a variety.
Right, right. Okay, well, Mitch, I hope that helped you out. I have I have some really great questions from the audience. They're fantastic. This one comes from Jason. He says, I'd like to know some top recommendations for dealers to increase their likes. Is sending an email the best to the customer base, or is it posting signs throughout the dealership, etc.? And then he followed up with, what content on ads generates the highest click rate?
Wow, that's like a monster question. And it's a really
good
question.
I know. He wasn't pulling any punches, was he?
Yeah, I could sit down with him for like an hour again and go through all that. I'll try to make it brief. We see you have to have a couple different strategies, and depending on, it's really the execution that works. So if you're going to send out an email, which I absolutely think everybody should on occasion, to your, let's say, email database to ask them to like your page, give them a reason. I'll give you a non-auto reason or non-auto example just because it's actually me thinking like a consumer and what were some businesses that I would do that for, and I encourage you to do that yourself. But a non-auto example was I go to a couple, hair salons on occasion, right? And one actually emailed me and said, like our page because every month you're going to get a new coupon, a new offer. You're going to save on a service a month. Well, for me, that was kind of cool. So maybe one month it's, save 10% off a haircut. The next month it's save 20% off, shampoo, whatever it is. That made me want to like their page. And I'm kind of picky because I work in this industry, right? I'm obviously live and breathe Facebook. So you got to give them a reason. When you do that, you're going to get the likes. In terms of like signage in your dealership, that's where check-ins come into play and check-in offers. Again, give them a reason to like your page. And you got to think that if you have signage, they're not likely to take a business card, go home, log into their computer and like your page. It's got to be targeted at the mobile users. So that can work. The other thing we've really found is running those contests paired with ads gets a lot of likes. And then just be consistent in your messaging. So if you have a dealer newsletter, which I'm a big fan of newsletters, always make sure you've got something front and center on that newsletter that gives them a reason to want to like your page. Just like, like our page and get an offer, or like our page and be the first one to get notified of new manufacturer incentives or financing. Or all of our Facebook likers always get, one free car wash a month or something, right? So just give them a reason, and that's where you're really going to get that traffic. And then the Facebook ads is a really long answer what works the best. What we like to do is we like to find out what works best for you. So all of those different kind of ads we just listed, including uploading email into custom campaigns, sponsored stories, promoted posts, you name it, pairing it with a contest, pairing it with a service offer, sales offer. We will try all of those for our dealers and find out what works for you, and then continually, adjust it and tweak it. So we're getting you impressions, we're getting you likes, we're getting you engagement, we're getting you through a contest, actual leads for names and emails and phone number or whatever you want. So it's really about having a holistic approach. It's not just, there's not just one thing that will work.
Wow, that was a lot. Big question, big answer. Jason, I hope that helps you out. I really do. Thank you so much, Alexi, for that great answer. I have tough question for you from not one, but two of our viewers today. Russ and Jamie both wrote in with the same question. They want to know if you can show them how to get their website URL in the About section on the front page of their Facebook. Is there a trick to it?
There is actually. It's like a step-by-step thing our team could show you. We automatically do it for our dealers. So it's not just totally straightforward. It has to do with the category your business is listed in. So there's a difference between local business versus picking automotive. Or companies, and I think it's companies and organizations, then you pick auto versus local business, then auto. That's the change. Now there's pros. We believe that if you're not running Facebook deals, you always keep it set to company because that allows you to have the URL. If you're running a deal, you actually have to switch back to local business, and then your URL doesn't show up. It's a really funky bug. Facebook knows about it. We're always talking to them about it. What we do for our dealers is we constantly just manage that and click back and forth depending on what we have running for them. But the default should always be company because that is the one that allows, and then you pick auto, and that's the one that allows your URL to show up. So it's kind of a personal preference. I though strongly believe, and we've seen that when we fix that for dealers and flip it back so the URL is showing, that's where you get the traffic and the click-throughs, and you can track that through Google Analytics.
Oh, hello? Hello? Alexi, are you there? Alexi, did I lose you? Alexi? Hello? Am I out here all by myself? Alexi, are you there? Okay, people can hear me, but I think maybe they can't hear Alexi. I think we might have lost her. Hold on one second. Just let me check. Oh, she's still there somewhere. Well, just in case, because I know you had some great questions, everyone, and I want to thank everyone for the awesome questions. I was really looking forward to getting some of your questions answered by Alexi. So I'm sorry that she unfortunately had to drop off a little early, it looks like. I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep going, and just in case, we'll cross our fingers and hope Alexi can make it back. But just in case, since she already has the slide up, I want to, of course, thank Alexi for a really fantastic webinar. Alexi, if you're still out there, love you, babe. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's. And yes, you did show us the Facebook love, and we do appreciate it. So, fantastic presentation. I'd love to see if I could get Alexi back here for another one sometime soon. And she might actually be coming back soon. But any questions?
I'm back.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Wow, I'm so glad you're back. I was just thanking you for a great presentation.
Go to webinar. I thought I was getting long-winded and it decided to cut me off.
No. They're not allowed to.
I'm back.
Thank you so much for making it back. We do appreciate it because we do have some really, really great questions for you from our audience. Right, audience? Okay, they can't answer, but let me just say, you're giving such great webinar. I didn't want to stop early. We do have some really great questions. If you're still with us, we'd love to see if we could keep going.
I'm back.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, let's get to this next question. Oh, well, what I was going to say is, Russ and Jamie, thank you so much for that great question about the URL in the About section. I do want to, of course, say that also Trish and Rodney also asked the same question. So thank you so much. Great question. Let's move on to the next great question from our audience member, Shirley. She says, I joined the Digital Airstrike webinar yesterday, and they spoke about social analytics. Is that something provided by Digital Airstrike, or is it found on our Google Analytics page?
That's a great question. I believe the webinar we did yesterday was for Ford dealers in conjunction with Ford Direct. I wasn't actually on it, but it really kind of depends on what analytics you guys are looking for. So if you are just looking and you want to get Facebook data, you can get on-page Facebook analytics from Facebook Insights yourself. If you want to just see traffic from the different sites, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or any review site, You can get that through Google Analytics. So you can go out there and you can kind of piecemeal it together yourself. What we do is we take all of that for you, we package it up, and we add additional metrics based on things that we can control. So if we're running a contest for you, we would give you that additional data. If we're doing, one of our programs is to survey your customers, and that is a program through our Ford partnership as well, and other OEMs, our data would also tell you everyone we've surveyed, then everybody that in the survey clicked to a review site and then left a public review. So, we kind of give you holistic insights and data depending on what you're doing with us and which sites you're active on. But you can certainly get pieces of it yourself if you'd like.
Thank you so much for that, and that was a really great question. So,
yeah, great question.
Thank you so much, Shirley, and yeah, keep going to all of those webinars. We love the webinar people. Okay, I want to get to this question from Rodney. He says, how do you get leads capturing forms in ads, posts, promotions, etc.? So is there like a special app for that? Can you just set that up right through Facebook, or do you need an additional something to make that happen?
You need an additional. So we've got a development group and a tech team that we build our own apps. So it's like a Facebook app. So in the ad itself for Facebook, we put in the ad for Facebook as an example that clicks through to, let's say, the contest app or a lead form that we've created. So that's how we get it. Ultimately, if you wanted to try to do this on your own, you could run something on Facebook that drove them to your website where you could capture leads. It's just there's more of a chance for drop-off there. We also like to pair our lead capture with requiring a like. So then you get them as a liker, and then you also get their information. But again, you've got to give them a reason to give up the information. So is it, it could be even scheduled service. There's apps for that. It could be entered to win a contest. It could be, a number of things. In fact, we're going to be launching tomorrow on our own Facebook page. Anybody that was at NADA or wanted to go to the conference, we collected a whole bunch of fun photos. So we're going to let everybody see the photos, but if you want to get a copy of a photo digitally, we're going to actually use our own lead capture form to do that. And so that's an example of how we use it. There's a lot of different ways you can use it. So, and we work with our dealers to customize whatever campaign or program you want, and then we build it. That's kind of the advantage of working with a vendor that has a tech team. But certainly there's ways you can just drive them to your, let's say, your webinar or your WebEx, your website contact form if you'd like. So you can always get creative. There's always a way to do it. I just love it when dealers think through all the steps in the process. So make sure you're driving the traffic and capturing leads to ultimately get you those sales. And as long as you do that, there's a number of ways you can do it.
Yes, Rodney, good luck with that. Let us know how that turns out. Okay, next question comes to us from Fallon. She says, if we have a small budget for Facebook advertising, which would you recommend? Marketplace, ads, other services that we might have to pay for? So what's their biggest bang for their buck? If they only have one thing that they can do, Alexi, what would you recommend?
Not knowing the market you're in or your brand, it'd be really hard for me to tell you, and not knowing your budget and what you consider small. What I would do, if we could, talk to you offline, we could actually tell you a couple ideas and we'd test it. So the first thing I would say is don't get locked into some crazy long, contract on some of those things you just want to test. But maybe you could say, look, this is my budget, it's $500 a month, and work with a vendor that's willing to, swap in and out different programs for you. So maybe you want to try Marketplace, see if you get leads. And, part of that, each one's dependent on the content. So Marketplace may work, but maybe not for your brand. It's kind of funky that way, or what your majority of your pre-owned inventory is today. Same thing with ads. We'd want to see what works for your market and your brand. We definitely have very different strategies for, let's say, Kia dealers versus, Lincoln. So because it's all around your demographic and your audience. So, but I wouldn't be afraid to try different things as long as you're tracking it. You'll find what's working for you. We also see that depending on, seasonal differences or what's going on with your manufacturer, different things work at different times. So it's just really kind of interesting. We see different sites work at different times. So around the holidays, there's a lot more people maybe on Facebook, sharing photos, and there's more traffic. But maybe, different times of the month, they're more on review sites or they're checking out Yelp. It's really kind of interesting. So it's not an exact science, but you definitely want to work with a partner that's willing to get in there and try different things with you.
Great advice. Okay, Fallon, I hope that helped you out. Certainly, Alexi's information is up there if you need more help with that. I want to get to this. Oh, she already wrote in. Thank you. I want to get to this question because Karen, I feel your pain. Karen wrote in, our GM is only interested in social media if it can sell cars. What would you suggest? I know, right? What would you suggest I say to convince him it's important, and on average, how many cars are you seeing a dealer can sell every month?
I would start by asking him questions. So when I know it can be sometimes hard to kind of sell this into the ultimate, decision maker, with a checkbook, I'd say what would he consider good enough, right? What's his return on investment? So if he's going to spend $500 on social media or $1,000, how many cars does that need to translate? Does he want to get double his investment back, 3 times the investment, and start there? So let's just say, for argument's sake, he wants to get double. So he's going to spend $500. He wants to see $1,000 in cash back to his bottom line a month. For most dealerships, it's only selling 2 cars, or 2 or 3 service appointments, right? If you're looking at your ROs. So start there and work backwards. We actually have a value calculator that we can go through with our dealers to ask all those questions. And it is about, there's a holistic, like, anecdotal bump that you'll see. You can also look at website traffic. So are you guys currently spending, X amount on SEM? You're working with Dealer On, you're doing something there. And do you value that traffic? Well, what are you spending to get that traffic? And would you be willing to then equate that back to the social sites? So how many clicks are you getting from paid search today? And then, don't stop that paid search, but if that's a good value and he sees the value in that, what would he value in terms of Facebook clicks or review site clicks that could equal that traffic? And then, that's how you can kind of sell it in there. It's just, you got to understand exactly what he considers a return and then kind of work back the math that way. So maybe it is just, that 15 leads from marketplace on Facebook that turns into 3 car sales, and he's more than happy. Maybe it's that through engaging and commenting on Facebook, we can show that we've booked, 10 service appointments. I mean, that's huge. Or you got to have a coupon to track ROs that is unique to Facebook to show them, look, we got value. One of our stores we work with in Dallas, it's a John Eagle Honda store. They did that when they initially started, and they'd never run coupons. And they did a coupon for a very specific type of service, and it was only on Facebook. They found in 45 days they booked $40,000 worth of service business.
What?
And then there was no bitching about it. Yeah, it was like, look, this is only on Facebook, and we got this many people bringing in this coupon, and we did $40,000 in service business.
Wow.
How can after that they say it doesn't drive business? So but you got to have something like that to test, right? We all know instinctively people on Facebook, and it's amazing, and it's going to help our dealership get engagement and more people through the door, but you got to have ways to track it. So, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but you definitely got to, be specific to know what he feels is ROI. Or
yeah.
she.
Or she, right. So Karen, best of luck to you. I hope you find the right words and the right ammunition to get your GM to hop on this Facebook train. I don't know. I don't think Facebook's going anyplace anytime soon. I think it's here to stay. It's been here for about 9 months. 9 years. So she already wrote in and said thank you. Alexi, I want to thank you. I want you to know I definitely felt the Facebook love today, as I'm sure all of our fantastic webinar attendees did as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was a spectacular presentation, and I hope I get you back on my webinar series sometime soon. You were amazing. Very, very eloquent. Thank you.
Thank you, and you were like one of the best hosts for sure. So an amazing attendance and great engagement. I am loving all the love coming from all the people on the webinar today. You guys are awesome, and you're very engaged, and I hope you take some of these ideas and run with them for sure.
Yes, and certainly if you have any follow-up questions for Alexi, the good folks over at Digital Airstrike are ready, willing, and able to help you, and they gave you some really great offers today from the Facebook page audit. I think you said it was called something else, right?
Surveillance report. Yep.
Surveillance report. Yeah, and the toolbar.
Existing clients will give you a toolbar. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Thank you so much. That was excellent. Yeah, people are already writing in. Great webinar. Thank you. It was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So, Alexi, fabulous job. Of course, I want to remind all of you on the webinar that a link to download a copy of this webinar recording is going to be emailed to you later today for your reference. And hey, share it with some friends and colleagues. Maybe they can get some help too. And today's webinar is also going to be posted online within 24 hours. Just go to dealeron.com/webinars, and from there you can also view our upcoming webinar schedule or access any of our past webinars too. So please do that. We're always looking for great feedback. Don't forget, after this webinar ends, just a little bit, short survey is going to go out. Please fill it out. Let Alexi know what a great job she did. We're always looking for great feedback from you, our valued webinar audience. And we're going to randomly select a couple of people from all the completed surveys to also win some Google prizes. So look, we're all about the prizes today. And yeah, invitations are going to be going out tomorrow for next week's webinar. And it's all about mobile. Alexi talked about how important mobile was. We're going to find out some more about it next week. 5 breakthrough strategies to capture and convert on-the-go car shoppers. Car shoppers are using their phones to contact you, but they aren't calling. Car shoppers are using mobile sites, mobile apps, QR codes, and many other tools during the shopping process. Ben Anderson, the president of AutoMotion TV Dealer app, he's going to discuss how to use mobile-specific tools to capture and convert those very valuable mobile shoppers. We'll look at the latest in mobile data, examine just how fast the mobile revolution is moving, and you're going to come away with practical steps you can put in place today. With dealers across the country reporting a substantial rise in mobile shoppers, this is one webinar you simply can't afford to miss. It's going to be another fabulous presentation by your friends at Dealeron, and don't forget, Dealeron's weekly webinars are held every Thursday, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. I hope to see you there. We have some really great webinar subjects planned for this year, but if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions regarding these webinars or our topics, hey, find me, email me, let me know. It's Eliana@dealeron.com. I'm on all the automotive social networks, and I'm on Facebook. Thank you all so very much for spending this time with us today, and we hope to see you all on a future webinar in our continuing education series. Have yourselves a great day, and happy Valentine's Day.